Astrology time, yeah, astrology time. The planets speak and it's so divine.
So today, the discussion is Saturn in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus. So that we can better understand that, we're going to break down what each of those mean, each of those phrases. And
what's the purpose of this discussion? It's to understand ourselves as well as the world, especially right now. I came across this reading the other day that just blew my mind because it said that the planets were the way that God speaks. And I always felt that, but it was amazing to read it. The planets, astrology, is the way the universe is communicating what's going on. And it's letting us know what's going on with us, the microcosm, as well as the macro, what's going on in the whole universe. And especially right now, I'm like, I want to know. I'm so curious. I want to know. What are you saying? And this square is so significant. And we'll talk about what that aspect means, a square. But it's tension, it's discomfort between two planets. And it's causing activity and a whole bunch of productivity, but a whole bunch of discomfort in our world. And because the square is Saturn in Aquarius being squared by Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus rules Aquarius, there's a lot of Aquarian energy, not to mention the great conjunction that just happened December 20th, 2020. Jupiter conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, and it lasts for 20 years, that energy. So this particular square is fueling that, fueling Aquarius. And what's Aquarius? Aquarius is humanity. It's the community. It's the world community. It's our tribe. It's technology. It's brilliance. It's a lot of different things, but it is our world community. So that is affected. And it's really letting us know, speaking, what is the world going to look like? What is coming? The square has occurred 3 times over the past year, and this is the third and final square. And it occurs around December 23rd, 24th, 2021, but it's going to last, that energy, as was said, because it's fueling that great conjunction that lasts for 20 years. It's fueling some huge shakeup inside of ourselves and in the world. And so let's try to understand it a little bit more. And maybe if we understand it a little bit more, we can have more compassion for ourselves and others. And maybe the square, this tension, this discomfort can be eased a little bit. So what's Saturn? Let's start there and then put the puzzle pieces together and build together. And so let's start with Saturn. Saturn is the manifester. Saturn brings the energy that brings the structure to whatever it is. So it crystallizes it, helps to manifest it in existence. It also controls. Saturn controls. It can hinder. It can slow down. It's authority. It's government. The government of the world, but also governmental of your mind. Or perhaps that's what the government's job is. It's corporations, big business, all the structures of our society, educational structures, financial structures, political structures, all that is making up our cube, our Saturn square. and not meaning the aspect square, but meaning the cube of our existence, what we are built upon, our infrastructure of our existence, what we could see, literally the buildings too, the Saturn, it's building and buildings, like it's all the structures, but also what we don't see, what's underneath it all, the structures of the grids and the grid lines and the sewage and the foundation of our ground. It's also the structures of yourself, your bones, your teeth, your skin. It's maturity, older age. Okay, what is Aquarius? Aquarius is the people. It is the people. Humanity, community, one world. It's also uniqueness. Such uniqueness, such innovation. Just genius creativity, science, brilliance. It's your groups, your tribe, your team. Once you figure out what your individualized genius is, because everybody has it, what your individualized thing is, your individualized superpower, superhero ability, whatever it is. I don't care if it is baking cookies. Whatever it is. Then you find your group and your collective, and you share your skills with the group, and you all grow together, and you all build in the community together, and it's the whole song. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It's all about just the community hand in hand, just being together, oneness, taking care of everybody. It's beautiful what Aquarians' ideals can be, and they give their all to their group. That's why there's so much on the other end, so much, I guess, chaos now, which Aquarius can be. It's because there are so many groups that believe so wholeheartedly in what their group is. Aquarius is groups. So it's all these groups, and they are so passionate, and you can't tell them anything because it's so connected to their soul. Their soul and everything in them, their whole being. Aquarius, because it is ruled by Uranus, it's also quick lightning bolts of energy, of just pure I know. I know. That's why it's genius. It's just pure I know. And so you can't tell it anything, and it's I know. And so every group is like, I know. And every group is up against each other like, you're wrong because I know. And the goal is for everybody to understand the one group of humanity. That's the high end of Aquarius. Yeah, that's the beautiful, beautiful part of it. Okay, so that's Aquarius. So what can Saturn and Aquarius be? If we just talked about what Saturn was, we just talked about Aquarius. And the way that this works is you pretend like Saturn is the player. That's what we'll do. If Saturn is the player, the player in this game of life, Aquarius is, well, what type of activities would it act in? So, for example, if Saturn can be building and Aquarius is your community, Saturn in Aquarius can be building of community, working in your community, committing to a community, to a tribe, helping to build a tribe. It's a time of building your tribe and really structuring your team. Saturn is structure. Aquarius is your team. It can be a manifestation of genius. Saturn is manifest. Aquarius is genius. Manifestation of genius. Discipline to get your genius. Discipline showing up every day at the same time, or disciplining yourself to do whatever that task is, so that spirit and the lightning bolt can just come through and your genius, brilliance can just come out and show up. It can be, if Saturn is authority, it can be authority over the community. It can be Saturn control of the people. It can be Saturn control involved in the community and the people more than ever. It can be Saturn is corporate and Aquarius is society. It can be a corporate society, a scientific technology society, a technocracy, or it can be a place where spiritual law meaning Saturn, Aquarius meaning spiritual, the law of spirit, spiritual law can rule in this Saturn in Aquarius. The truth can rule. The real truth, the spiritual law is what wins. It's work that is unique. This is another reason why right now it's so hard to find employees to do jobs that they might feel doesn't have enough meaning, because people want to make sure the structures they work for, any entity, it has to have a higher truth, purpose, meaning, has to be about building something greater, community, humanity. That's the only thing that's going to motivate people, especially the younger people. They like, nah, it has to be real. Has to be real Aquarius. Has to be real spiritual law. It has to really come from the soul and spirit and heart. It could be a beautiful time. Could be a beautiful, beautiful time. Saturn in Aquarius, the infrastructures can get shooken up, because Aquarius can cause chaos and rumbles in all the structures of our society. And Aquarius is technology, so that means technology can get shaken up and it can be control of technology, easy. If Saturn is control and Aquarius is technology, complete control of technology. As soon as actually Saturn went into Aquarius, that's when all of a sudden you saw all the censoring of all the content on all the social medias, on all the internet. It happened immediately. It was so on time with astrology. And just real quick sidebar. Yes, all that we're doing right now today, it's all tropical. It's Western world astrology. That is our focus right now. But trust, I love Eastern Vedic sidereal, and they're both happening simultaneously. I respect them both. Oh my gosh. And we can talk about that because on some level, this Western tropical astrology focused more on the sun. It's more patriarchal. It is. That's what we're built on. And yes. And so that's why I love to do Vedic, because we get to see the hidden, the underbelly, the moon. There's so much to talk about with that because it's like there's two things going on simultaneously, but they're both right. They're both happening. With this Saturn in Aquarius, and also when we get into Uranus in Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus, both of them you can see where with the land there can be, because the land and the structures can be sand, but the land can also be Taurus. So and with all this Aquarius and Uranus, that means earthquakes, volcanoes, just shall we say potential for mud floods, or is that really when Pluto hits Pisces? I think that's a conversation in itself. Whole mud flood astrology session. Electrical sewage disruptions, changes, anything with the infrastructures shaken up. Yeah. So let's go to Uranus. What's Uranus? Well, when we talk about Uranus, we're going to get a duplication of a lot of things that we just said for Aquarius, because Uranus is the ruler. Uranus is also that communication because it rules Aquarius. It's lightning bolts. Boom. You just know. It's the first outer planet, because it stops at Saturn. Saturn is within the firmament. And then once you get to Uranus, you are hitting the firmament. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, you out of here. You out of here with those planets. So that's why the three signs that they rule, Aquarius, this is another sidebar, three planets that they rule, Aquarius, Pisces, and Scorpio. That's why they say you either turn to spirits or you turn to spirits. And that means if you are those signs or you have those signs prevalently in your chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, something prevalent, or a lot of Uranus, Neptune, Pluto conjunct something major, you turn to spirits or you turn to spirits, meaning that you're already connected to something that is out of bounds. It's out of this firmament. It's not even in this world. It's in a whole other energy. And so you have to find something deeper to really anchor yourself into and to tap into that outer worldly greatness. And you know what that is. Tap into it. You special. Tap in. Jupiter has it too. Sagittarius. They gods as well. Everybody has all of these. Everybody has all of this in their chart. Just some people, it's right there, boom, 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 right there on the conscious surface. It's just right there bubbling. So you might as well get into it. Other people, you might just stumble into it and it's still so prevalent. So it's everybody. Everybody has their superpower greatness. That's for sure. That's for sure. And in this Aquarius age, thank goodness we get to see it. Okay, so Uranus is the first of the firmament outer planets. Uranus it's just the I know. It is rebellious. Revolution doesn't necessarily mean to be rebellious. It just kind of happens because it so much knows what it is and it's just doing itself, and it can't help that it's built this way in all this ecstatic yet erratic energy of knowing brilliance, genius. It can be a disruptor though, complete disruptor, chaos, but really loves futuristic and science and complete innovation, complete technology, the singularities of all this, the world. And their psychic ability with all those outer planets, definitely psychic ability of it just hitting and just knowing, and all the telepathies and clairvoyance and audience and sentience. And it can be in there too. Just connected. Everybody just collectively connected with that higher mind and a higher humanity. What's Taurus? Taurus is art, beauty, value, self-worth, the senses of the body, feeling, touching, smelling, and speaking. It's the voice. Throat, and really knowing who you are and that self-worth, your possessions, anything that you have, but also the people, all of you, they really hold on. They hold on. They like their security and their comfort. Grounded, persevering, art. Yeah, anything ruled by Venus. Very Venetian, very sensual, very much the body. Although Aries is officially the body because it's the self and it's the first sign out of the nebulousness of Pisces, out of the great womb of existence, that Pisces energy. Aries is the first, and that is the body and the self, and it's the boundaries of coming out of that womb. But right after Aries comes Taurus. And Taurus is still just a continuation of that body energy. And it's really the needs of that body and the senses of that body, really connected to the self as well, of a preservation of self, knowing self-worth. And yeah. So what happens when you have Uranus and Taurus? If we said all the things of Uranus, what happens when you combine the two? What would that look like to you? If Uranus is genius and Taurus can be the body on some level, it can be genius of the body. What do I mean by that? Maybe revelations and things coming through the body, information, just knowings coming through the body, maybe activations in the body.
But what's
Cell
so
lines,
interesting is that
bloodlines.
years ago in astrology classes, we would sit around and we would say, what would Uranus and Taurus look like? If Uranus is technology and Taurus is the body, technology in the body, well, how are they going to get technology in the body? This is like 2010, 2015. We're all sitting around discussing this. How are they going to get technology in the body? And we're like, is that when the microchips and the cyborgs and is how are they going to get the microchips in the hand? How is it going to happen? And we're all discussing it. No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, definitely, it's definitely coming. And it's all these arguments about it. And fast forward to December 2020 into 2021, and all of a sudden, millions, billions of people have put mRNA technology in their bloodstream through the experimental jab, the experimental shot, the experimental shot. Billions have done it. Wow. Experiment is also Uranus. It's also Aquarius. It's the scientist. It's science, but real science. It's real science. Uranus and Taurus, what else can that possibly be? Uranus is the quickening and again that genius and those superpowers and that individualized energy being awakened in the body. Uranus and Taurus, it awakens. It awakens. The lightning bolt happens. You awake to your true powers and what you were put here to do, your real individualized, unique energy. That's Uranus. Uranus, Eureka, Uranus, Eureka, Uranus and Taurus is the Eureka of the body. Wow. Things can happen that we could never have fathomed. All of a sudden at this time, we've seen so much innovation and technology with food and Beyond Burgers and other meals that are GMO'd and just really created in a lab in some kind of way. Very Uranus, very Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus is. So the agriculture has become technologically based. And there's a lot of controversy over that. Is it missing the nutrients? Are we going towards too much of that? Are we taking too much power away from farmers? Right now, farmers who have farmed certain crops their whole life, it's now patented their seeds that they used to use, and they're giving them fake seeds and technological seeds, and they can't even do what they used to do. Like, there's a lot of technology that is going into our farming right now. There can be good things with that too. There's positives, I'm sure. The innovation can be good to feed and make a lot of people healthy. I'm sure there's some great innovation as well when it comes to food.
Almost like nature versus nurture. Is it science, it's man against the machine, the cyborg versus what naturally is awakening in our body, what maybe God put here, or do we let the technology and the innovation? That's part of that square of what's going on right now. Who's going to be in control of it? The corporations, the authorities, those Saturn structures, or is it going to be more sovereign? Is it going to be the tribe gains its power and its control, or the genius of the body of the self is what really is in control, and it's what's winning? So many different things that are going on with these squares. Greatness can come through, brilliant art like you've never seen. All the genius coming through, all the innovation, all the science, all the astrology, all the waking up of the inner senses of knowing and being. Great time, but it's being squared by those structures, those authorities, or by your tribe. Maybe you're not in the right tribe and it's controlling what you want to do. And that genius, that's trying to come out. What's supporting your brilliance and your genius and your greatness and your flying away to the highest level of yourself? What is helping that? What is aiding that? What discipline is aiding with that? What structure is aiding with that? And what is hindering that? What is restricting that, controlling that? What unique amazingness can we put together in our community? How can we all build together? How can we all commit together? What is trying to suppress that and control that? But all it's doing is it's propelling us even more. It's propelling all of us even more to what do we really want? It's propelling a revolution of some kind.
An awakening and a reset. An awakening and a reset inside of ourselves, inside of our society, inside of our world is occurring. Hence all the discombobulation and the chaoticness and the growing pains. There is something that is manifesting that's always been there, but the quickening is occurring. It is coming out. This energy of who we really are. All of our powers, all of our truth, information and advanced technology and what we're really here for. Yes, love, 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 love. But some of the bigger pictures and the connections and the inner dwellings and outer dwellings and the matrix of it all, the beautiful part of it and the not, all of it is coming out. All of it is starting to make sense. All the dots are starting to be connected. Saturn and Aquarius squaring it, squaring the Uranus and Taurus. We're at the precipice of the next singularity. Really, it's the truth. And the singularity is that singularity, as you know, that's when the next big thing happens that changes everything in our whole society. The last singularity was what? What changed our whole society? What's one of the last big ones? The internet. That was huge. That's whole world just changes. Well, with all this Aquarian energy and technology and the way things are looking, and there's Saturn involved, and that's the corporate and the political structures, and you could just see it. It looks like the next singularity is transhumanism, and that is the connection of the human with technology to an extreme, extreme level. Is this good? Is this bad? Is it okay? my thoughts is that there is a natural, a Taurus from nature, from our body, and I believe in innovation and technology so much. But I believe there is something awakening in us that some structures in this world want control over. They want to suppress that. They want that essence. And I say, don't let them have it. They can never possess what you have. It's something so special, and they want to control it. And some of the ideas, because it's so Aquarian, it resonates with me. Like when they say things like, in 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. That's that idea of we all share and we're all one. Yay, yay, yay. Or what's another thing that they say that it sounds almost good? Universal health care. We're going to take care of you now. And we're going to give you this and that and put this in your body. And we're going to take great, great care of you. It's all of this love, 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 love from the structures and the powers that be. But I question the consciousness of them. Is it really altruistic? And who is going to be making the rules of who succeeds and who is revered? I guess my trust is a little bit in a sensitive stage. And I don't have a lot of trust for it at the moment. Not enough transparency, too much Saturn in Aquarius, squaring my Uranus in Taurus. Our Uranus in Taurus. Each of you individualized, everybody's genius. Like, imagine if we can all share. And here's the other thing. The other thing about this transhumanism and hooking humans up to technology, one of the benefits of it, I don't like crime. I don't like when people hurt people. And because it's going to be Minority Report like, where you can see who's doing what and who's about to do something evil because they're thinking it, and you can see all of it and go find them. There's such, wow, I love that. So that sells me too. But then I'm like, who is the one saying who's bad and who's running this? I don't have trust for it. And I believe that the real singularity is one that is so great. I've only felt it. I felt it a few times here in my life, but really, I've only really felt it in the Amazon rainforest, away from it all. Literally detached from it all. No internet, no technology, no billboards, none of it. None of it. Not even electricity, like they only use it for maybe an hour or two a day, like just for a second. Because they know it messes with the wires. It does. I've never felt what I felt out there and what that vibration, what that energy was, how I was vibrating, how my kundalini was moving, what I knew, that I know that was occurring. I repeated over and over again, but all I wanted to do was bring all my friends and family and random strangers from cities across the world to just come over and feel it too. Because that would heal the world. There would be no question. There's no question of what true value is. That's the other thing, is how could I miss that? Taurus is value. True value. Knowing your worth. Knowing really who you are. Your true value. That's one of the beautiful, beautiful things of Taurus. How could I have missed that? that's a beautiful way to almost sum all of this up. This square is about knowing your true value and your true worth and what you feel in your heart and soul. And when things don't feel right, they don't feel right, because the Uranus and Taurus knows. You know. May the singularity be such a revelation of greatness from our souls and beings, an upliftment of humanity, a connection like we've never experienced with each other and society. Such a beautiful oneness that they laugh about and they say, that's not possible. It is possible. Lemuria, Atlantis, all of that is possible in the age of Aquarius. That's what it's about. Everybody taken care of. Aquarius is also step parents too, because it's like everybody is one. There's no step parent. It's just, that's my kid. It's all one. It's all just one. May we listen to the truth and the I know of our souls. And in that we are empowered, and there is nothing to worry about. No structure, no control, no illusion of false power. None of that can control us. If we all stand up as the people, Aquarius is the people. If the people stand up in the I know, and it's deposited in the Uranus and Taurus of the body of here we are. No, I know my value. You ain't gonna do nothing or put nothing. Or if I question it, if I have any question, there's too many things that are going on right now that we have to question. Sorry. Aquarius has to know. The people need to know. And it is a time of being here for the people, so I understand how things can get confused. And we say, no, we're fighting for the people. We're fighting to save the health of the people. And that's why we're enforcing these mandates and these this and this that, because we're trying to help the people. And people get so in their groups and they're so passionate and they think they're really here for the safety and the health of the people. But I don't think that's what it is. I think they tricked us again. I think they got us, y'all. They got us again. The corporate, the structures that be, because we were being way too powerful. We were finding out who we are for real. And so they're giving us little trinkets. And people are feeling like, oh, we're good. We got this job where they gave out this money or this stipend, and it's shutting people up. And a lot of people are doing all right. There are people doing very well right now. So everybody's like, shh, don't rock the boat. What do you need? People are distracted in their lives. But you ain't distracting the astrologers. You ain't distracting the people, the healers, the innate healers, the people that are in their truth. Not just astrologers, anybody that is in their truth and what they know in their soul. You can't distract them. You can't convince them. What else is Uranus and Aquarius and all that stuff? It's straight up rebellion. It is revolution. It is revolution. How could I forget that? I guess everything is coming in right when it's supposed to come in. It is revolution. But the revolution, first of all, it's not televised. And second of all, what I mean by it's not televised, as you know, you're not going to get it all on it's not mainstream. They're not going to tell you mainstream. They're going to give you the false one. It's not televised. It's the make-believe one, keep you busy, keep you distracted and feeling like you really doing something in the world. Meanwhile, you being enslaved and you don't even know it. They were good with this one. I'm going to give them credit. They were good with this one. They got us with this one. They got everybody involved with this most recent one to control us and to control our bodies. What's in us. They trying to get our essence, our DNA, our minds, how we think, our emotions. They going hard with it. And again, if it was altruistic in any way, there could be beauty in all of this, in what could be learned, but I don't feel it. I know. Sorry, I hate to be one of those people, but I know. And so, just making sure we've hit all our points that we need to hit. It's a powerful time, this revolution. All this is what I wanted to say. But perhaps the revolution, it doesn't have to be a fight, a physical fight. Perhaps this revolution is right here. It's right here. Aquarius is also connected to Leo. Leo is the heart. It's right here. It's the higher mind. It's humanity. Higher mind, well, because that is the ninth house too, the higher mind. But it's the higher mind, meaning a genius, an intellect that's just so, you just know. It's that, this passionate I know, mixed with the polarity of Leo, of heart and love. Let's not forget our compassion. Compassion for everyone. And as much as we know, maybe we don't know. Never forget that too. I don't forget it. I've been humbled quite a few times over the past few years, for real. Over my whole life, actually. But this is a pivotal square. What's it gonna be? Who's gonna control things? Who's gonna be sovereign over ourselves? Are we gonna do it ourselves? Or is the structure gonna do it? Who controls us? Who are we connected to? Maybe we've always been connected to corporate structures since America's inception. Maybe they've been controlling our genes and genetics all these years. I guess they have. And we just never said anything. And now, Uranus and Taurus, we're like, nah. And that's okay. And it's okay. So we have to come to some reconciliation. And again, if one believes that this other group that doesn't believe is killing the population, I'm so sorry. Because I can see how you could hate and despise and be so upset if you think that. All I can say is I empathize with that so much because I just want us to all be one here and to be on the same team because we need one another. It is the people. Only the people can stop the nonsense. And we're going to need a whole new structure in our society. It's crumbling. This isn't going to last. This is not sustainable, what they're doing. It's too many people that are like, nah. and they're not going to stop. And eventually people are going to be like, wait a second. But by then it might be a little bit late, but still, it's just not sustainable. I know that we speak and we make it known. And we can live in the beauty of what this Saturn and Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus is supposed to be. Ooh, it's so glorious. Oh, it's so glorious. Our birthright, this revolution, this reset, it's so glorious. See it. Watch how quickly it can manifest in this. Such a quickening of energy. Such power. Everyone's waking up. Everyone knows. And it's so beautiful to see. Oh, and it feels so good. We're feeling good. Aquarius, Uranus is vibration. It's a certain vibration of energy that is just electric and ecstatic. If you let it in. If you let it in, it's so beautiful. It's literally the orgasm. Uranus in Scorpio is exalted because Uranus in Scorpio it's the orgasm. It's the vibration of it all. It's ecstatic. What is possible? And some of us can be so ecstatic, this Kundalini energy just awakening and things happening that we never could have dreamed of. The powers don't want that. The whole system is going to just collapse if that starts when that starts happening. Life is so good. It's a long game, everyone. It's a long game. I know it feels like everything is right now and you got to comply and do what the job says or this person says or this authority, this Saturn structure or this or that. But life isn't this box. It's not as linear as we think. It is a spiral. It is a spiral, and we're playing the long game here with our souls. Might be coming back, maybe parallel worlds, so many things going on. Don't sell your soul in one instance here because you could be selling your soul down the line here or over here or in this world here or in this dreamland here, but it's really this alternative life here and this. Don't sell your soul anyway, anywhere. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's the long game for your soul. And the truth is, if everybody, you hear that saying that came out recently, it's so funny. We're all in this together. It's such a funny saying that all of a sudden got popular so much over this past year, which is... it's so apropos because it's the time of Aquarian, which is Aquarius and Uranus, which is all about we're all in this together. It's the group. But yeah. It's a beautiful group energy, beautiful group possibilities, dreams and ideals realized. Quickly, things can happen instantaneously. Extractions can happen instantaneously. Like just anything, transformations can just happen so quick. Even though transformation is Pluto, Scorpio, but still, Uranus is quick. It just changes. And it can change for the great. And so it is.